Yo, what's going on, all my gamers, all my Genshin gamers? I think it's been about almost a month since I did another Archon quest part, and 4.1 came out, so I kind of want to get caught up with the story again before the next part comes out. Excuse me, I'm be muting every now and again here just because I'm sick still. I mean, I'm a little sick. I'm already like pretty much over it. It's just some of the coughing still lingering, like a bad date, dude.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as
Navia, I
often
forgot
after
about her.
growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Dude, this is such a fancy place. What the fuck?
Like this in a while.
In a while? Have we ever been to a place like this? This is kind of insane.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Since this is supposed to be France, I'm like expecting escargot or something.
Everything looks so good.
Wow, the food looks good. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be like fish and chips, right? That's kind of cool.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever.
Wow, this
you
is
like.
a lot of
Food's
cool
good,
stuff.
I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not,
What did she say?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
you sure have your own way of doing things. We called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
I almost forgot that we were like pissed at the end of the last
I didn't mean that you had to order
mission
even more food.
at the discovery of Lenny being a Fatui, which
Speaking of cases,
understandable.
do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really
I wonder
after.
why.
If it hadn't
I'm
happened
assuming it has to do
right in
something
front
with
of us,
Fontaine
Paimon wouldn't have
lore.
ever believed that a person
History?
could be
History is probably the right word.
dissolved
I don't know why I said
like
lore.
Right? Yet it was because this was
Dude,
such
those
a
sweets look really good.
preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
All right, this is this is really weird. I just wanted to stop to interrupt this. I'm being more chatty because I have a new mic and I really like using it. I don't know if this is for anyone else. I really like the way the food looks in Genshin. Does anyone else like that? Am I just weird? I make sure to make it a point to get every single recipe or anything that I can get in Genshin because and then I max it out. I legitimately have almost all the food maxed out because or like I've done the auto cooking for most of them because the food just looks so good, dude. I always try to get the character special dishes too. I don't know. That's just me. Let's
Such
continue.
investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off.
The chasm. Hate that
To
place.
be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
She said, "Fuck the
It's
police."
easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula
Hey, I'm in the
exists.
middle of something.
Those
The
highfalutin
fuck?
folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist.
I have no
To
idea
see
who that is.
into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Now, what did she do again?
Thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else.
There they are. Fish and chips.
Like, what are your future plans?
Want to ask the hydrogen. That's weird. Wait, this all seems like what? Whatever.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina, I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a
She
while.
has meet and greets.
Considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah.
I can imagine there's conventions in Fontaine, and then she goes and does meet and greets.
Getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
We're gonna sneak into her house.
Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
We're gonna break into her house.
One way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another.
She's got some extravagant ideas, huh?
Yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her
Can we
until she answers all your questions.
we have some
Personally testify that this one
Oh
works.
jeez.
When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
Can we get some like practical answers, or is that just too much?
Might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Do it for the cause.
I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. all right, no more joking around.
I don't even know if she was joking around, to be honest.
You could. Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
It's worth a
Why
try.
don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Is that what did she say font? Jaker
Sorry about that.
Fanta.
Paimon was
Don't you
really
wanna?
paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done.
You drank my orange soda, you fucker.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
It really just sounds like they're blacklisting orange soda, and I don't know why, but that is really fucking funny to me. They're just good. They're just going around. Oh no, the orange soda here sucks.
Oh,
That's hilarious. I don't know why.
Paimon can barely float anymore.
Try walking, you know.
That would be so normal. You know, like you.
What does that mean?
Okay.
You mean normal?
As for expenses this month, we're left with...
$1.
Huh.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again.
Why do I have a choice in that dialogue if no one's gonna hear it but
So this
me?
is goodbye, huh?
Like that's my inner monologue, and
If you
they're
do
like, you gotta
encounter
choose
any other
one.
trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
Goodbye, Navia. Chapter 4, Act 2. I didn't read that. Go to the Fontaine Plaza in front of the Opera House. Oh wait, can I buy food here? Oh, I'll do it all. I'll do all that off. I'll do all that stuff off stream. Oh wow, they already have the second part of Fontaine out. Where am I? Over here. Bum, bum, bum. I'm gonna have to start. I really need to start speeding up this Archon quest because I need to go and start catching up with the map and all that. But I mean, it doesn't look like too much. It's only what? Well, I mean, this is just Statue of the Sevens. Doesn't take into account how many actual like teleports there are, and they're probably gonna be a lot underground too.
People around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again.
Oh no, the voices are back.
Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? Ugh. That's kinda spooky.
Not according to that
Are
corridor
you sure
quack.
we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache. Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
Someone pissed in the water. Don't go near it.
Hang on. Hyman can kinda hear a voice.
Vache, yeah.
It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Bam, bam, bam. I'm going into the spirit world. That the ocean did.
Vache. Are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
Never heard of that. Not Vache, I mean love.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore. I do not know how I came to be like this either.
Light blue water?
I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Oh, is this the people that are being like dissolved?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
Jeez.
No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor, so let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
It was dissolved?
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
What is happening?
Navia's outnumbered!
What the hell? Oh shit, wait, when did this happen? She's a really cool fighter.
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Clorinde?
It's Clorinde. Hi. Hi, Clorinde. Oh my god, she's so hot. She's a sword user, you know. Gonna note that down for later. I think I have an extra sword for her, in case.
Quick, now's our chance!
Dude, she is so fucking cool. I mean, give Navia her credit too. She's really cool too. But oh my god.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorinde. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following
She
someone without
sounds
their
hot.
knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety.
Oh, they know each
and
other.
I will not betray his trust. He would do the same were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Oh, drama alert.
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorinde, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can
Ooh, they were
only conclude
stolen.
that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as
It was a
private force of
conspiracy.
sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I like her hat.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorinde. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
She's just trying her best, bro. Oh, don't give her no attitude. Look at her.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle,
I want her to follow
I
me.
believe that Miss Clorinde was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, I just... She's...
What the hell just happened?
Thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorinde who came out to save us too!
Oh, she's a champion
We
duelist.
got
Cool.
lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
So you're a fighter now.
Come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we
Yeah,
had back
so
there.
you're a polite talk, are
Not
you,
for
you
me,
little
anyway.
shit?
In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As
Victory
such, we're still
screech!
partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, we get it. She's your boss.
Actually,
Relax.
Navia, how did you know that
Why don't you take a step back there, big fella? Relax.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I guess we're all full. I guess we're full of miracles tonight, aren't we?
All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
That's. Were we poisoned? Wait.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Oh, jeez.
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Drink salt water? Is that not healthy?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all.
Why'd they spike my
That's when
drink?
I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, it wouldn't be another country if we
did follow a
weren't
plan
caught up
they
in
were
some kind of
probably
mess,
pretty
right?
proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again.
My consciousness left again.
And this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you
Might as well, we're already here.
Meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula.
Yes.
You talk too much.
She has such a
Well,
fucking
in
smile
that
on her
case,
face.
Let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you.
Sweet.
We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Go to Spina de la Rosa strongholds. Teleport, teleport, teleport. Man, Clorinde, am I right? She's whew.
More speed.
What a woman, dude. Shit, I really hope she has a banner soon. I think Ridley's next, and then
Let's make sure we weren't followed first.
Right, it should be
I've been keeping watch, demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone
Nouvelette
suspicious
now, Witherly next, and
Very
then
good.
Folklore next
Let's
after
not let
that.
our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
Sure.
More speed.
Do I go down? Whee. I don't know why there's ladders. It's not like you can use them in this game. Oh wait, you can use them up. Whee. I'm really glad I didn't miss that. I think that would have hurt if I. Oh. Okay. I'm definitely playing it a little fast and loose
Time to
here.
scout.
No, I can't swim. I didn't actually know if this was the way I had to go. I just kind of jumped down here and just hoped for the best. Is that a lizard? It is. Dun, dun, dun. Look, it's a little cat. Good. Little kitty cat. How did a cat get down here, actually? This is a really long way down. I don't know. People probably brought the cat down here. Like the faint moonlight of yesteryear. Where is he? He's like over here? Yeah, he's over there. Bam, bam, bam.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been
Like the
arranged.
bat cave. It's kind of
Under
cool.
the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
So much for my expectations. It could be an
Our funds
asshole.
have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
I'm the people's
To
champ.
be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No, I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand.
Oh, jeez.
My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to
makes sense.
investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now,
Jeez.
here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Seek the truth.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
Oh, jeez.
How could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorinde.
Oh, her?
I kind of figured that much because she like really hated Clorinde.
Isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
It's true.
Ms. Clorinde has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this.
She seems very. I mean,
Don't worry, Navia.
it's really complicated, but I was gonna say she seems
You
really
don't have to force yourself
like
to do
okay
that.
with knowing that
Afterward,
Clorinde
Ms. Clorinde
killed her
told
dad.
us
Not to say that
at
she
the
seems
start
okay with
of
it.
the
She's
duel,
pretty
Master
pissed,
Callus
but
requested
still.
that she ensured Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end. Thanks.
I mean, that's a lot
You
to
two should
shoulder,
go
so
and rest.
I understand
This
that.
was quite a day after all.
Yeah, Herman's beat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Rest in your room. Oh, it's
Whether it
silver.
be responsibility for Spina di Rosula or Master Callus's death, it all landed on Demoiselle's shoulders so suddenly.
Very true. That's really.
I must become stronger.
You do your best, Silver. You get in there, bud. Get in there! Peaceful night passes under the spinning doors, so watch while I.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh?
Almost too nice here.
Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But
They do seem to be on her a lot, but I mean, she is kind of the boss.
were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect
He never
that
existed.
those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
I mean, I assume yes, but also no.
There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Navia, a place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept.
Ooh, Nouvellette.
If the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who went missing recently,
There's no way that's how you say Oceanid. Oceanid? What did you just say to me?
So Nervalette maintains an archive of case files?
What?
Guess that's
Why did
the
they?
hardworking
I
Chief
don't know.
Justice
I was
for
gonna
you.
say, why did they change the
In that
name
case,
like
let's go talk to him.
3 years later?
Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
no, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
I need to get Nouvellette. Apparently, he's really, really good, especially with his Kamehameha move. We've completed it.
Calais is right up ahead. Come on.
I thought they said Calais. I was like, wait, Calais here? I want to see Calais. I love Calais. She's adorable. She deserves the world. She must be protected. Oh, this place is big. Over there. that point was really silly.
The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh.
Sit in.
This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalette's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care.
Who are you supposed to
or
be?
Who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
Was she just testing him?
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to
A little
say is,
sassy, isn't he?
shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys.
That's us.
It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh, is that even a thing?
It's adorable.
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Ah, thanks so much.
Cool. That went a little too easy, but I guess we are here on official business, sort of. Nouvellette, let me in.
Please come in.
I'll knock this door down. God damn it. Oh, just kidding. The chief shot. Hey, look, it's got a giant. Huh.
Part of our gym, Monsieur Nervalette. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
That typewriter is
so
really
you're
huge.
not
There goes, that's the word.
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Can we take a seat? Those chairs look really
Who
comfortable.
knew that Nervalette would be so easy to talk to?
His eyes are really cool.
Unfortunately,
And when he said files, he meant all of them,
I'm
huh?
quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
So awkward when the game has to catch up to the dialogue.
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Oh boy. There's no way that can end well.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just
That-
express some tendril of regret?
That was not the
No.
move.
You
Neuvillette, I would
are
not have done
trying to
that.
do any of that. I can hear it in
Ooh.
your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should.
Damn, she's cooking with steam now, brother. Oh, here we go.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power
weird.
to
They actually
stop
have tears
him
now.
from throwing his
That's
life
not.
away?
This is not an
Why didn't
important.
you just
This
let
is
him
that's
die?
inappropriate.
Despised and hated by all. Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything.
There seems to be a lot of rain before like important stuff.
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind,
Poisson.
we'll get to the bottom of my father's
Poisson.
case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
Let's just go down.
Great.
Screw it.
Let's go then.
I'm assuming it's gonna TP me over there. I want a croissant. Croissant. That's what I think of when I hear croissant. Croissant. Is it down here? Yeah. Croissant. Where is this? TP. There it is. Passion. Passione. We're here to investigate the leader of Passion.
What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
Kinda cool.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity.
He likes to have a little flair. I respect that. Me and him got that in common.
Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Passione.
More speed.
I have a sudden urge to watch JoJo's Part 4. Anyone else? Is that just me, Smile? Let's
More
see.
speed.
Wait, do I have the TP here already? Seems like I do. Where's the TP up here? I guess we'll see when I get closer. I mean, it's probably gonna show up once I get close, right? Also, where is that? Is that like up here? Is it? Down below. The Oshoculus. I think I hear it. Oh yeah, I see it. There it is. Got it. Nice. Nice cock. You got it.
Maloose, we're back.
Also, I never noticed that, but she's a Geo user apparently. I thought that thing in the back was her
You said before
Hydro
that you still had some business
vision,
at the
but she has a
court. What brings you
Geo
back to
vision on her
Poisson so
shoulder.
quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Maloose? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in
Synth?
Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait.
That guard guy who turned into water also mentioned that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did.
They're making what?
Considering what we
Illegal
know now,
substances here?
it's
What is
almost
going
certain
on?
that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything.
Oh my god,
Some
synth is
extremely
just
dangerous
I don't know how if I could say it,
As
but
he
you know what it
oversaw
is.
Poisson, my father was compelled to
Wow.
put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only
It's
that,
a good man right there.
Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them.
This game's getting
He
way
was
too
able
close
to
to
convince
like
someone to become his
IRL.
informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly
Jacques
ashamed about
Desmenard.
his work after seeing many
Where did I
families
get that name?
destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out.
I mean, it sounds like it's starting to come together.
I'm
That's for sure.
finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives.
This is unrelated, but this music is is weirdly loud. It's like louder than the actual dialogue.
To step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting
Wait,
by.
is Sith still being used like
Nothing
throughout the
has
city?
changed.
Is that
Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless
They're
death?
just,
And live out my life just as
become
meaninglessly?
rampant after he passed?
I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
I could respect that.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling
Wow,
point
he's
was the revelation
smart.
that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live.
This is all coming straight out of nowhere, by the way.
This case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve.
There seems to be a lot being dropped on one section of the story.
Away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
Seems like a lot of trauma being dropped on Navia.
Correctly, Demoiselle.
Man, she is gonna have some. She's gonna need some therapy after this. 'Cause this is
but a sword.
damn.
If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
It's gonna be like a Fatui area, isn't it?
The enemy boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
Is it Fatui
You
ridden?
mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades.
It's true.
There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
I'm all about
The
it.
worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
They're corrupted, aren't they?
You saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few
I
years?
swear Navia becomes like Batman because I feel like Malus reminds me of Alfred.
One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior
Florent.
advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people
Well,
Boss
wow,
trusted
doesn't it?
the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie
Marcel!
of Cabriere.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only
It's the Thieves
reselling
Guild.
some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
Well, I mean, if they have a lot of money.
Suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards.
I feel like it's gotta be him.
Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty.
Seems like a lot for just your
And
duty.
before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Weren't we here to do something
We'll work
else?
together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Alice's case records. This is Jock's family. Dude, we are doing like so much. This seems like a really long side quest. I don't know why.
Please excuse me.
I guess just because
Enjoy your conversation
folklore
at
is
your
in
leisure.
it.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything?
But I guess even then, all the other Archons aren't really in there. Oh, she's pissed. Aren't really in their own are in the story of their own
Navia's
countries.
so quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Pissed.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of
Oh, so he
providing
was
for
selling
his
synth.
family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callus came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Wait, does that mean?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
It sounds kind of fucked up to say, but man, Navia's crying
Thank
like
you
every other scene.
for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
The testimony from Jacques' family. Talk to
Are
Clorinde.
you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
We're like reliving all our childhood
Perhaps you'll be
trauma on
nearby,
one
And we
quest.
should be able to find Thierry and
This
Uncle
is all one
Marcel
quest, by
soon.
the way. I think. I'm pretty sure.
I'll get myself together on the way.
Fuck.
So please don't
I
worry.
missed. No, I guess I'll just go around. Whatever. Oh, I had to go this way anyways. I don't know why I thought he was up there. I can't read a map apparently. Come here. Where were you in the day before
Greetings,
yesterday?
Boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
Those
It
damn
also
journalists.
On the day that the incident happened with
I don't,
my father, it
I don't
was
know if that's
raining
what's
outside,
important here, buddy, but
and we found some
I
clothes left at
appreciate
the
you.
scene. After my partner here put the notes together for me,
I guess
feel
at least
like
trying
we
his
should
best,
try
I don't
to
know.
reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective.
Yeah, probably.
My father had no reason to kill, so he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third.
So are these like flintlocks or something where
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
you kind of have
So
you need to have more than one gun?
Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
Or maybe because he wanted to keep Chuck's
About that,
something?
Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry.
Bossy.
I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Information. Oh, jeez. Gonna do the old back and forth. I feel like it's this guy.
Gary,
I don't know
it's
why.
me.
Oh,
I just assumed it was like, because it was the the police guard last
Navia?
time, so I just assumed it's him this time too.
Quite the name for yourself at the opera house.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you
That okay was really
I
weird.
think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these 2 friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These 2 are my partners.
Dude, I just don't
The
trust this guy at all. Like
problem
he's
is, I just
very
realized that
untrustworthy.
Lorraine's case and my
Oh,
father's
what's this?
may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah,
What is that?
I get it.
Oh. Oh, that's weird.
You think there might be more to the
I could
case
just open
now
up my
that
notes. I
more
didn't
people
realize
can
that
be
before.
dissolved into
Or is this the
water,
first time I
right?
could do it?
I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go
That's
through the original
flabbergasted. Taken
files
aback,
of
you
your
might say.
father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send
She's not very
them
subtle
after
with
me.
this, is she?
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret.
So
So
you
I
know
can
about
promise
these
you,
things.
Those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your
It was him. It's
investigation.
100% him. I don't trust
I'll
him
be
for a
staying in the city
second.
for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
I don't trust him at all. In fact, let's arrest him right now. Wait, is this within the area where I can walk? Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Woo! Gonna parkour around and just hope that I can get there in time.
Time to scout.
Time to scout. Should be down below me, right? If they're... Catch me! Whoop.
Hello, how may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure, I will let him know right away.
That person's voice sounded weird.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Marcel!
Not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all
Just
right,
walking
Uncle
around.
Marcel. There's no
Legs
need to
just
stress.
cracking in the
I
wind.
just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, I
Thanks,
want to
I
become
guess.
the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you
Makes sense.
also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We
Hmm.
were attacked on Arrhenius by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems
They
things are
spiked our
heating up
orange
and
soda.
the peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel.
Le
But I
croissant.
don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound
Fuck,
of
you
a
couldn't drink.
gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more.
Did you say
See if there
a
are any
gunshot or
valuable
2
clues
gunshots?
elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora.
Wait, I want more. I mean, I'm rich right now,
All
but
my
you
wealth
know.
comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
I say rich, but people have like billions in this game, and I only have like 7 mil. I feel like it is Marcel. I feel like it's Marcel. Am I supposed to do it right here? Oh. I guess it's above me. I feel like it really is Marcel. Because he's the one who's rich and all that. I think he also said he only heard 1 gunshot. And that part's kind of weird.
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
That's gonna be a
That
while.
makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
A game theory. Anyway.
Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible.
He's on to us.
Who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
It's gotta be Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business? Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think
I feel like all these answers are gonna be wrong either way.
Under wraps.
Right?
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as
Yep,
Spina
of
di
course.
Rosula's advisor,
These were all wrong.
his word
Why did they give
mostly
me
deals
the
with
options if they were
personnel
all
and
gonna be wrong?
security. So he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Who could it be?
I think it's what's his face. I have nothing on.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the
That's
most
what I'm
suspicious
saying.
of them all.
He's the one who could actually afford it, and plus he's like.
Malus didn't know about the people turning into water.
He also said that there was only one gunshot.
Did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for
Wait,
you.
what's his face?
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Oh, it's Child. Nice. Frick.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know who he is.
He's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Of course it's absurd. He's an idiot. He has nothing to do with this.
None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Child can barely tie his shoes. How is he gonna be behind all of
A
this?
lot harder than to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence. Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
We could do that.
Just as expected of my
Wait, but I want to see
partner.
Child's
Since
trial.
this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our
Unless
best
they're expecting
opportunity.
that. Gasp.
All right, then. Let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Melis and Silver.
Ah, Malus, Silver.
Malus. Not
When did
Melis.
you
What am I
two get here?
saying? Malus.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance.
Assistance.
It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste.
Let's
for
get
Ares.
out of here.
Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then.
Goodbye. Suspect analysis. All right, cool. Is that gonna end that mission?
Now that Navia has set out for Araneas,
That
we
is
should also
when
get
all
moving.
returns to waters.
The location is
Oh yeah, I just wanted to hear Paimon's speech. Oh, I guess she stopped talking. Anyways, guys, that is another part of the Fontaine quest. I will try to get this part after this one out a lot quicker and not take a whole month to record again. I'm definitely more excited to be recording, especially with this new microphone. So I will be getting that out to you guys very soon. We will continue on with this Fontaine Archon quest, and we'll see what happens to Child on the next episode. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Goodbye, gamers.